You may have heard some people pontificate that if you say no to a child, they will grow up with a negative attitude. But if you say yes to a child, they will grow up with a positive attitude. Well, from personal experience, I feel that this may be totally wrong. I believe that no's are foundational to a positive upbringing. My theory is that once all the no's and don'ts have been said, all that will be left thereafter is a world of yeses. And it's not really about the negatives or the positives. Telling a child what they can do instead of what they cannot do can prevent the development of a caution. The truth is that the word yes as a response does not really exist for a toddler, as they have no clear queries. So, until they reach the age of being able to ask a clear question, they are simply allowed to do whatever it is that they please, until they reach the area of the great no, which is like when they're trying to insert their finger into an electrical socket or suddenly holding a big sharp knife. The word yes is always implied, thus never said or heard, while no is the only word heard over and over until it makes clear sense as a call to stop or a sign of the forbidden. Although research, however, has shown that too many no's and the child zones it out, literally stops hearing it. This is because some parents will just say a firm no with definite hand gestures. Others tend to say no, 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 no. And that is when the child stops getting it, zoning it out. Toddlers hear almost up to 400 no's in a day. And that's one too many. So, while no's are inevitable, they have to be firmer and fewer with definite hand gestures, which will lead to positive affirmations like good baby, pets, and hugs. To a child who can understand, it is better to tell them what they can do and not the reverse. This will bring the no's down to 10 a day. As children start growing older and putting forward queries, the no's begin to form the guidelines, and within that they live in a world of positives. For example, if you're going out for some time and tell your child not to enter the kitchen, not to touch any gadgets, or not to go out, and if he or she asks if they perhaps may read a book or play a board game, the only response you can give is a yes, as you've already addressed all the no's. Hence, only positives remain. When I was younger, my father used to sit me down and tell me all the no's and don'ts relevant to the time. And then he would just say, except from this, do whatever it is that you want. As he knew, after all the no's, only came the amazing yeses. Those who think that saying no to a child will make them negative should consider using my father's philosophy, which is to sit them down and tell them all the no's and don'ts. Guidelines over, it's free play time. If you need proof that his method works, here I am before you. I'm a very positive person and have a very positive attitude. The simple fact that I believe that should be proof of positivity. Am I right? One time, my big brother was on the side of the road and was excitedly about to run across the road to my father when my father suddenly yelled, "No, stop." He froze. Just then, a motorbike sped by, which would have surely hit my big brother had he not listened to the no. He actually took the no's in a positive way and they ensured his well-being. In that instant, he had realized that the no was coming from someone with a greater insight than his own basic one. Now, sometimes hearing a no can make you feel bad, right? But you know what? Knowing the no's actually helps us understand what we can and should do. When someone tells us the things that we cannot or should not do, it's like they're making sure we stay safe and do the things that are good for us. It may seem like a lot of no sometimes, but it's actually like having a map to help us and guide us towards better decisions. And more importantly, when we know the things that aren't okay, it makes the things that are okay even better. Like personally, I have realized that going out after dark is risky, but during the day, it's all good. So I cherish the moments when I do go out during the day even more. Knowing the no's actually helps us appreciate the yes moments more. Positivity isn't just about saying a yes to everything. It's about understanding why some things are no and using that knowledge to find the best yes moments. Positivity isn't about ignoring negativity, but owning them and turning them around. Positivity doesn't mean pretending everything's perfect. It's about seeing the good in things even when things are tough. Being positive means being adaptable and open-minded. As a 10-year-old, I've come to realize that these restrictions have empowered me to make better choices and decisions. When I can't go out after a certain time, it makes the time when I do go out so much more enjoyable. And it's not about feeling restricted. It's about realizing that these restrictions exist to keep me safe and guide me towards better choices and decisions, which I will eventually need to make for myself. Sometimes it can be difficult, but being positive means finding the best in every situation. When my father laid down the no's, it made the yeses so much more meaningful. And it's not about hearing a yes all the time. It's about understanding why some things are limited and using that knowledge to explore your best within those limits. Once, when I was in the kitchen and was about to touch a knife, my mother came in and said, "No, Ab, do not touch the knife." I immediately pulled back from touching the knife as I realized it was for my own safety. People often believe that saying no to a child will make them negative, but this is not the case. No's are foundational to a positive upbringing as they help children like me understand what we can and should do. Our upbringing shapes our perspective and choices. Recognizing that these limitations exist to keep us safe is a great positive in itself. Positivity isn't just about ignoring negativity altogether, but acknowledging them as challenges and turning them into opportunities. In summary, being open-minded about the no's has been a significant part of my personal growth, helping me adapt to situations and see them as a larger journey filled with both obstacles and fantastic opportunities. My great reward has been the steady conversions of all the no's to the yeses as I grow to be able to judge situations more maturely. Now, since I am acutely aware of the outcome of my misadventures, my risk-taking abilities have actually evolved into potential strategic decisions. I thank the no.